Hi guys, how you doing? And welcome to my channel, Claire Thackeray. Today is the 17th of January 2023 and yes, something lighter, brighter, nicer, kinder, holistic, spiritual, brilliant. So today, because of a question I got in the comment section, I think I'm going to be answering it in this video. I think I get what you were asking about. Here it is. It was something along the lines, and it was two of you that kind of, one asked you and then the other one said, yeah, I'd like that as well. And it was something about tarot and oracle cards and how can we use them, how can we choose them, what different ones are there, etc. I thought, yeah, so let's have a tarot chat. I've got surrounding me at the minute some decks. They're not all my decks. I've got loads of decks. I'm also going to do an unboxing of some. I think these are new decks. I think there's new decks and a new book in these parcels. So we're going to do that as well. And just have a chat about tarot, oracle cards, how we use them, how to read them, how to bond with them. Just have a nice video. I don't know about you, but I am craving at the minute getting back to bare basics with why we're here and getting back to some nicer, brighter content. I was having a flick through the other day and I was like, oh, this channel was never meant to be the royal channel. And I never intend, when I set up a YouTube channel, it was not meant to be about a royal channel. It was meant to be about healing, tarot, ascension, awakening, life skills, happiness, joy. And when I set up my channel, I actually was a huge royal fan. And then I started seeing that you could do royal videos. Oh yeah, I'd love to do that. I got into the royal videos. And then I went on a trip to Windsor, not last year, the year before in September, and I became ill in Windsor. I won't go into the details of it, but I became ill in Windsor. You've been following me for a while, you were there. Well, you weren't there with me, but you were there when the video I did afterwards. And it changed the game totally. And now I'm interested in it in as far as where it's going to sit in the awakening, the ascension of the planet, because it is going to play a pivotal role. But as far as diving deep into it all the time at the minute, I refuse to let this channel turn into the royal channel. This channel is, and you guys are worth so much more than that. So this is going to be a tarot video. I'm planning a video. My next video this week is going to be a channeling with President Abraham Lincoln. Then I'm going to be doing an ascension video where I'm going to talk about the signs and symptoms of ascension and awakening, physical, spiritual, emotional, mental, etc. How it happens, what to expect, etc. Pull some cards. I'm also going to do a Q&A session, hopefully next week. And basically that's going to be a Q&A about me and about Healing for Ascension, which is my business, about the work I do, my awakening, what favourite foods. So to have your question in that Q&A, which will probably be next week, comment below this video a question that you've always wanted to ask me. Keep it clean, nice and balanced. Even if you see your questions already there, ask it, because how I'm going to do it, the ones that resonate, that I go, yeah, that's a good one, or the ones that seem the most popular, those will be the ones I'll pick out. So even if you've seen a few people ask it, still write it. So yes, and saying that I'm going away from raw videos, last night I had a visitation from Jayne Seymour. So yes, can't help myself. next week's channeling, I've got a strong feeling is going to be Jayne Seymour. And I'll tell you how she came through in that video. Right, let's get going. So I'm not actually sure what's in this. So it could be stuff and... Ooh, no, it's a deck of cards. It's a deck of cards. I'll put that there. Yes, I've just thrown it. Diana Cooper, the Archangel Oracle cards. I'm not going to open them because I've got loads of decks. I'm going to have to be unboxing all kinds of stuff on here. But this is my first deck of Diana Cooper. I've been drawn to Diana Cooper for ages, and I've just not got around to ordering her, but her oracle cards, angel cards. So yeah, so you'll be seeing these in the videos. Also as well, I'm planning on doing a lot of angel work as well with the Ascended Masters, with the Archangel, sorry, and the Ascended Masters. So my hope is to be able to do a channeling with each Archangel. Not straight away, obviously, but over time, bringing in Ascended Masters, bringing in all the other channeling that I do as well, because that's good. But yeah, Archangel Oracle cards by Diana Cooper. Artwork by Jayne Taylor. So this would be an Archangel Oracle deck. The difference between Oracle cards and Tarot are what we see, like the predictions and the energies and etc. and all that. And they can sort of, some tarot decks, like the traditional Radiant Rider-Waite tarot, which is this one, box is a bit bashed up, apologies, can be quite heavy. And it's a traditional deck, although it's been slightly changed over time. So you'll probably see this a lot. I'll get this out a lot on decks, on readings, online, and personal readings and client readings. Yes, I do client sessions. That's your traditional fundamental tarot deck. It can be very heavy. It can also be very beautiful as well. Never be scared of tarot cards. There's nothing evil about tarot cards. The only thing that can be evil about tarot cards is the intention of the reader, and if they've not been looked after. But as a tool, they're clean as a whistle. I know people will want to know the names of these cards and the order. I suggest you listen because I will write underneath what they all are and who they're from, but I may not do it in order. I'll try my best, but I may not. So if there's a deck that you're drawn to, this is a tarot by the Radiant Rider-Waite tarot, then I suggest you either rewind or just slow it down, take notes. So yes, so Oracle cards are for like messages from the universe, messages of hope, messages about life, messages of the energy, reading the energy of the situation, giving a higher perspective, but also a lower perspective, because we've got, I mean, where is it? We've got something like this. I'm already mixing up already. Honestly, I didn't plan to do it like this. The archetypes, the royal archetype. Wild unknown archetypes. See, I said shadow on it. See what happened? The wild unknown archetypes. This is a shadow deck. Absolutely beautiful deck. So if you want to do some shadow work for yourself or for a client or for a family member, which you can, this is a brilliant deck. A brilliant book. Show you really quickly. That's the book. Some of these have got absolutely amazing write-ups. Okay. And this is the deck. It's a round deck. So I'll take the lid off. That's the back. That's the little box that it's in. And these are the pictures. Apocalypse. The storm. There's also, they're not all, when I say shadow deck, it doesn't mean to say it's a scary deck. It just, the seed, it makes you think. So if you're looking for a card that makes you think, that you can do shadow work for your healing sessions, shadow work for yourself, for your family members, however you like to use it, this is a good deck for that. Okay, I'll try and do it in a bit more order now, Claire. Flying about already. Right, yeah, no, that's damaged. I know people are saying, just get on with the video. That's rude, by the way. That keeps happening on here. I know it's not subscribers, but when you're watching someone's work, I'll put that on later, especially with the controversial videos, you'll get the odd person that will come in and say, just stop talking, get on with the video. And I just think that's rude. Rude. Go away. Bye. We don't want them on here when they're like that. Not nice energy at all. So the next unboxing. Pulling some faces all right today. Oracle of the Unicorn. So this is a unicorn deck that I've just bought. And this is by Cordelia, Francessca, Brabbs. So this is a unicorn deck. Okay, a unicorn deck. Again, so I mean right now where we are on this planet, we are so lucky because never before have we had so many amazing tarot decks and oracle card decks. Literally, there's a tarot deck, an oracle deck for everyone on this planet. I mean, I've got a huge collection and I've been collecting tarot cards. Well, I got my first one as a young teenager, probably around about 11, maybe even younger actually, younger than that. And it was my, I've still got it. I've still got it. I don't use it anymore actually. Yeah, honestly, it's amazing. And then we've also got another unicorn deck, which is Magic of the Unicorns by Diana Cooper. Apologies for not opening it up. It's just I've got so many here that it'll just become messy. So this is another unicorn deck. So again, you know, even like choices of different types of deck, you've got at least two unicorn decks there. So that might not resonate with you, and that's fine, but that might do, and vice versa. Because always remember, what resonates with one person might not resonate with you. And that doesn't mean to say the deck's bad. It's just we all work with different elementals. We've all got different guides, different stories. This is a book that I've just bought, so I'll share this with you because I know people have been asking about books. Not read it yet, so it's not a review. I'm not recommending it. I'm just saying this is something that's come in the post today. And it's called The Saturn Diaries, a modern day grimoire by Cardsy. Yes, so this is about, I think it's about her awakening. I can't actually say that word on thingy. Fashion BITCH turned tarot witch Cardsy B appeared to have the perfect NYC life until astrological transit known as Saturn's return gate-crashed her life, stripping her of her self-identity, her career, marriage and security. So it's an awakening story. So it might be a good one for boys and girls, you know. And that's my unboxing. So tarot decks, I'll start with the tarot first. If you like a little dinky deck, this may be the deck for you. It's in a lovely tin and it's great for putting in your bag or taking on holiday with you. When I go on holiday, this is the deck I take. It's like this deck, but it's the smaller one. So if you've got poorly hands, if you've got arthritis in your hands or you've got small hands, this is a lovely, lovely, I mean, you can see I've got quite small hands and you can just see how I can really grip that. Great for taking on the bus or out and about in your bags. I know sometimes people like to take them out with them. There you go. So these are some of the pictures. Yep. So that is the Radiant Rider-Waite deck. All my decks have come from Amazon. There's not all of them, Claire, don't trigger. Some of them haven't actually. Some of them I do get in shops, but I'm a busy lady and Amazon provides jobs. So when people have a go, say, oh, you don't use Amazon, do you? They provide jobs. People stopped using Amazon, people would lose their jobs. Next one I use is what I call my go-to, another go-to tarot deck. So that Radiant Rider-Waite is a go-to deck. This is another one. You'll have seen this loads. It's called the Gilded Tarot Royale by Ciro, Marchetti and Barbara Moore. And it has only got a little dinky book. But these are some of the artwork. I'm going to have to just flip through these as quick as I can. Okay. Yep. So tarot decks. You see what I mean about different tarot decks for different people from where you are on your path. It doesn't matter whether you're a seasoned reader with loads of experience under your belt or whether you're just starting out. There is a tarot deck for you out there, so don't let that turn you off. The Field Tarot by Hannah Elizabeth Fofana. Again, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to whiz through them. This is just to give you a quick of the artwork. You'll see more of these decks if you follow me, if you go over past videos. And as well, how do I choose my decks? When I'm doing a personal read for a client, I ask the client's higher self before we start the read. I always set up before the client sits down on the Zoom. So, and you'll be surprised at how accurate it is. And it's interesting to watch what your higher self chooses for your decks. If I'm doing a channeling, I'll ask the spirit that I'm channeling, what decks would you like me to be drawn to? I'll never forget the one with Dodie because he chose some really, I was not expecting the decks that Dodie had. And I remember thinking, really, Dodie? And there was a point in the video that we asked him a question and he said something like next card. well, I went and I heard you lot go, and it was just like, oh my God, that's why I chose that card. Actual mind blow. So that's how I'll choose my decks. Yeah, Spiritsong Tarot by Paulina Cassidy. Okay. This is if you like animals as well. So if you like animals, if you like the sea, if you like angels, there's tarot decks for anybody now. This has also got a shamanic feel to it. So if you're into shamanic, there's shamanic tarot decks, which I've got and I'll show you. Remember, this is just a quick whiz through. I've not got the time to sit here and slow. I know people say, oh, yeah, just read the cards long enough. We don't have time. And I apologise for that. But we've just not got time to do that. I will say something. When you work with shamanism, you can work really quick. And I remember when I first realised that when you work with shamanic guides, they work really quick. And one of the reasons for this is when they're doing a bit of, like, say if they're taking an entity off, they're not going to go in and go, right. They're going to go in and they're going to do the work. So when I'm working, I know I can talk really fast because I'm used to working really fast. And sometimes I have to remind myself that not everyone can, you know, there's sometimes a language barrier. So if ever I do it, it's just because I'm used to working at certain, if that makes sense. Emperor. So this is the, sorry to even say what this was, the Magical Nordic Tarot by Jayne Wallace. Okay. So this is if you like your Nordic stuff, your magic stuff. Yeah. Okay, so we'll put that 8 away. Also comment below of future videos you'd like to see on here. Not reads away from the usual topic. If there's a political read, I am going to start getting back into those. I went off political reads for a bit, but I'm getting a nudge to go back into them. So bear in mind as well, when you live in a different country, don't be offended if I don't read in a certain country. It's not because I'm ignoring you. It's because actually when you're in a certain country, you're in a certain country. And we get lost in our own country's stuff. It's not because we're ignoring you. Please don't be offended, because you'll do a prediction, like a global prediction. What about this country? It's like, it just didn't even come into my zone. And that's not a bad thing. It's just, it is what it is. Tyro of Dreams, Cairo Marchetti. This is the one we used for Anne. So yeah. Yeah. Look at that, it's a lovely magician card. All of these are from Amazon, so that click away and you're there on your journey. You can use tarot decks and oracle cards as part of your journaling practice, as part of your healing practice. You know, Spirit, what's your message for me today? Guides, what's your message for me today? Say it's this one, you know, stop playing the victim. It could be stop playing the victim. You know, they can be used as journaling practice. They can be used in healing situations. You can use them as part of your healing things with clients. I would say though, when a client comes for a healing, and this was a White Witch that once told me this, they come for a healing. They don't come for a reading. And I remember I used to have a totally different business to this. It was called Mystical Garden, and it was a spiritual spa place that I closed due to the virus. And I remember somebody came in for a massage, and she started talking about a mother that had passed while she was on the bed, and all of a sudden a reading opened up. And I was speaking, because this was a place I used to go to for crystals and cards, and she said, Claire, let me give you one bit of information. When you're doing a massage, you're doing a massage. When you're doing a reading, you're doing a reading. Don't let them cross, because it can become quite messy. She said sometimes people will start talking about a dead relative, especially when they find out that you're a clairvoyant, and before you know it, you've opened up and you're giving messages, and it's not always appropriate. And Having your oracle cards as part of your healing is well and good, but be careful of the boundaries. You may think I'm talking ball, but I've seen examples of it where, well, what's the next card? What does that mean? And it can so, especially if someone's feeling vulnerable, if someone's feeling traumatized and you show them a tarot card or an oracle card, they can jump into it and actually forget the healing they've had and become more focused on the card. So it's a boundary. There's a fine line. There's a fine line. So this is, sorry, I'm not even showing you the boxes. Wild Root Tarots. This is a Shamanic tarot deck, right? This is by Mark Ryan and John Matthews. I've just bought this in Scotland. So my Scottish followers should love this deck. Okay, I bought this in Scotland in a lovely place called, what was it called? Inverary. I actually wanted to go around Inverary Castle, but couldn't because of the energies. Funny. I used to love going around big houses and castles and stuff, but since this job I struggle. It's funny because I actually clear land, but going in for a day out is different to going in to clear it. Yes, I clear land and houses, remove entities from houses, remove ghosts from houses, remove curses from houses. If you're new to my channel, get into the description box below. There's all my other different social media accounts, Instagram, Healing for Ascension. There's my website there. I do readings. We're currently now fully booked up until April. So people that have put their money down already, they're going to be getting the March, April slots, but it's going into April. So please bear that in mind when booking in. So those are a few of the different tarot cards you can get. Now I'm going to go on to the oracle cards. This is another new deck I've got. The Witching Hour by Cherie Gerhardt, I think. Love this deck. Very simple deck. Sometimes the best decks are the simplest of decks. And every deck is unique. Every deck is... It's beautiful. Every deck, every artist. Even when, like, the Diana Cooper one, Jayne Delivered Taylor's done the artwork for Metatron deck here that I'm going to show you next. Probably not next. I will show you next. But it's a different deck. It's got a different feel to it. Even though it's the same artist. It's interesting. It's so interesting how the love that goes into these creations is unbelievable. So another oracle deck. Metatron's one of my guides, and I actually came across him on my level 3 master for Reiki Master attunement. I remember sat there, and before she did the attunements with us, we had to do a meditation, and I remember literally closing my eyes and this blue angel, and you say, oh, blues, Mike. No, this was it was probably very much like that. And I remember coming across Amanda's work and Amanda's oracle deck because I didn't know who he was. I just knew he was this powerful angel that was wise beyond anything I'd ever experienced, but was quiet as well. And it was actually when I came across this deck and I thought, that's the dude. That's him that appeared, and it's him. So you can find out your guides at all stages of your life. And literally, he came into my third eye, and he was just there, still beautiful, beautiful. So this is Archangel Metatron by Amanda Ellis. So this is like the ancestor card. So this could be a great tool for your healing, for your own healing journey, journaling, love, relationships, and harmony. Chakra light body. Let go and release. Answering the call. Speak up and be heard. Message in a bottle. Wake up call. As above, so below. Lovely deck. Lovely deck is this actually. You can also tell the decks where there's been a real labour of love gone into it and a real care, and they've not just thrown them out. I sometimes find that with some decks, especially when people become really popular and they can lose their way. They can lose their way sometimes, but you cannot, like that one's got a lot of love in it. This is called The Dark Mirror. Well, it's called Dark Mirror by Laura Sava. Shadow deck. You saw me use this at the weekend, didn't you? Remember that one? Let's not talk about it in the comments. Parasite. Artificial Heart. The Triumph of Lies. This is a heavy deck, but if you want to do your shadow work, again, I know you've got clients, it's not saying you can't use them with your healing sessions, but just have boundaries with them. Because, for example, oh, put me another card. You just got to be careful. Is this me? The child I was meant to be? Revenge? I probably aren't going to be doing these in order in the comment. I do apologise. I work full time as a healer and a reader, so I've not. A lot of people with YouTube channels, that's all they do. It's just YouTube, which is fine. But for me, I've got healing sessions and reading sessions and all kinds of things going on with my business. So please don't be offended if you go down and think, shit, shouldn't have put them in order. You know why? Because I'm an ex-blonde as well. I am actually. Not being derogatory to blondes. I used to be a proper Marilyn back in my day. Platinum blonde, bleach blonde, full works. Work Your Light Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. Lovely deck. Lovely deck. Back of it. Front of it. How do you clear a deck? So say you might see this on a video, or I'll do it on a client session. That's it. I mean, I can't, sometimes if I've got, and I'm moving on to a different subject or a different person in the reading, just to clear it out, just to visualise clearing it out. Smudge, sage in them, I'll run them through sage. A lit sage with the smoke, I'll run them through the smoke. You can do it with crystals. You can put crystals on the top of them to charge them up before your readings. If you're doing a love reading and you want to use some rose quartz, there you go. It's all very simple. And in every deck you get, there's a book. And even if you start off like I did, and like everybody did, where every card you pull, you read the book, there's no problem. There's no problem with that whatsoever. And then you can do your reading on your own and then read the book. But I'm gonna get a bit controversial at the end of this video about the books. Native Spirit, Denise, Linn. Shamanic deck. So if you want to go into shamanic healing and you like the shamanic energy, here we go. So there's a deck for any modality that you're interested in. Yeah. You can't do it with this one, but you can either blow them or you can knock them to clear them. With the shamanic decks, it's a very powerful energy, shamanism, and the shamanic deck classes that as an intrusion if you knock on it. If you think about it, why would you, if somebody knocked on you, it'd be like a punch. So I mean, you can tap on it, you can blow on it, crystals, white light, put them in the sun, put them in moonlight. Work with your decks how you want to work with your decks. Gateway of Activation by Kyle Gray. Good deck, this. Good deck. I like this deck. This is all about portals and gateways. Okay, artwork on the back. And it's about you making your relationship with your cards. Where do you store them? In a cool, dry, warm place, bookshelves, on an altar. I won't say put them next to your bed, that's controversial. Some people say put them under your pillow, I don't. I was taught by a shaman not to do that, especially if you're like myself, where you can be overactive a lot of the time. If you put a deck of cards under your pillow, you are off. And that may sound like a good idea at the time, but when you're exhausted the next day, or if you're with the spiritual stuff, there's also a dark side. And early doors, it can be very easy to start going off. If that makes nothing scary, but just having respect. I think because I work with these as well, this is work as well as my hobby. So it's on my bookshelves. They're not just strewn all over the place. They're all put back in the same order. They're all put back, they're respected. You respect the tool. Always respect the tool. The Divine Feminine. Put them on bookshelves, altars. Surround them in a clean room like this, energetically clean room where you're saging, you're smudging. It's not a room where your kids are watching cartoons or play fighting. It's a room that's sacred to you, or a space in the room that's sacred to you. So this is, did I show it to you? The Divine Feminine Oracle by Meggan Watterson. And this is a good deck for Divine Feminine work. Back of it. Like your Mary Magdalene energies and all your goddesses and that kind of thing. I mean, beautiful. 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 I'll write all these up later. I might even say, no, you have to rewind. Oh, I'm only joking. Second-hand decks. Yes, you can use second-hand decks, but make sure they feel right, because everyone works with decks differently. Make sure it feels right. If it doesn't feel right, it might not be that the person's dark. We must get out of that. It feels dark. It could just be that they've been working in a certain way. Say, for example, these decks have been working as a part of a business, as part of client work. They've got a certain amount of frequency with them to do that. So someone that just wants to use them as part of their journaling may struggle with the energy because it's like boom, because they're used to working like that. Star Codes Astro Oracle by Heather Roan Robbins. This is one of my newest decks as well. Back of card, front of card. Whoops. This is a really nice deck as well. Balance. What am I doing here? Oh, they've got all mixed up. Last but not least, it is the last but not least, yeah. Lemurian Star Child Oracle. This is for you guys that love your galactics, that love your Lemurian, that love... What's the other one? Oh, God, I just had it then. Maybe they're not meant to mix, that's why I'm not meant to say it. Lemurian Star Child. So this is a deck. I can't remember the other word. What was the other word? Oh, it's interesting that. This is at the back of the card. So if you're into your galactic stuff, your elemental stuff, your light code stuff, you love your light code, you love your light language energy, this is the deck for you. Indigo Child, Know Yourself, Synchronicity, Family of Light, Divine Blueprint, Universe, lovely big box, lovely book. Again, it's one of those decks that you know, wow, yeah, which you know, it's been a lot of love going to, a lot of I mean, this is the book for it. You know a good deck by its book. Yeah, look at that. So there's so much out there, honestly. It's just about spending some time. How do I find decks? Sometimes I'll watch other people and I might sit online, do I like that deck? Sometimes I might get friends that will recommend them. Sometimes I'll see them online when I'm browsing. Sometimes I do visit crystal shops and things and I'll see them in crystal shops. Ask your guides to guide you to the deck that's for you. And get your own relationship with decks. Get your own relationship with decks. Don't also, when you're learning tarot or oracle cards, don't get lost. Don't get too stuck in the meanings. This can be a trigger for people, especially people that are quite rigid in them. No, that card means that and that card means that. Yeah, you're right. But I was taught by a shaman to read cards, and she said, yes, you can follow the book and learn the book and learn like the swords and the cups and the pentacles, etc., and the judgment, but it's a story in front of you. And the cards, there's so much more to the cards than the book. And especially when you've used other decks, and other decks have slightly different versions of readings, it's about reading the story in front of you. And it's about when you pick up the card, what do you see? What do you feel? What can you hear? What can you taste? What can you envisage? How does it make you feel? How does it make you feel when you look at the card next to it? Because it's also about where you place them. It's about learning your craft. And it's about having respect for your craft, but another person's craft. And you may look after that deck totally different to what I look after that deck, and that's fine, because they are your tools. So don't get too bogged down with, is there a book I can read on tarot? There's loads of books out there. Honestly, there's loads. And one of the reasons why I'm just going to start sharing books that I'm buying or books that I'm reading is just so you can see them with me, the ones I'm reading. You don't have to get them, but it's just a sharing of knowledge, because that's how the ancestors did it. They passed down the knowledge to their children, to their grandchildren, to the younger ones, and then they passed over, and the energy went, the messages went. People want to hold on to their secrets, and only I know how to do that. And we need to share books. This might not be a very good book. I don't think it wouldn't be, because I wouldn't read it if it wasn't a good book. But then, don't go down that route. I was going to mention that last book I read. But even, do you know, I actually had a good download after that book. Not about the book, but about something within me that needed to be healed. And actually, after reading that book that I read at weekend, I don't give a shit anymore. I don't actually care. I don't care. I can take it or leave it. And I could get quite het up about it. But I read that book and something released in me, and it was like, yeah, I'm free. So sharing, again, what books do you use? Ask your guides to guide you to them. If you see something on Amazon or online, or this just pings out at you, get it. Trust as well, and don't let lack of abundance stop you. I'm not saying go out and buy all these decks. These decks have taken me 4 or 5 years to collect. But don't go, I can't afford that deck. You may not be able to, but what I usually say is, I'll put it in my wish list, and I'll say maybe not now, but maybe next week. Maybe not this month, but definitely next month. Because the minute you go, I can't afford that, Claire. I can't afford that. You've blocked it. But if you say, I love that deck, I'm going to put that in my wish list, and when I get paid, I'm going to treat myself to that. Or my son's just texts me and says, what do you want for Christmas, Mum, or my birthday? I want some money for this deck, or can you get me this deck? And that's how abundance opens up, and that's how we get stuff. The minute we say we can't, we literally lock down, and you can't move forward. I've been there, I've done that. So it's about, enjoying your tarot. Tarot is not dark, tarot is not evil. Tarot is a beautiful gift that helps you on your awakening, your healing journey, your ascension journey. It can even help you to make sense of global stuff. I mean, you could say you've seen something on the news and you're feeling really anxious about it. Get your oracle deck out, sit with it, pull it. You don't have to predict it. This isn't about making predictions, but it could be that you've seen something on the news that makes you anxious. And you pick up this deck because you need some guidance, and ask your guides to talk to you, or an angel deck. And it's about empowerment as well. It's about empowerment, and it's about reading them in your way and trust in what you get, because it's normal to be doubting Thomas. It's normal to think I can't. You will. Reading cards is a muscle, and the more you practice that muscle and the more you train that muscle, the better it gets. Doesn't mean to say sometimes you can't make it wrong or get it wrong, or it's not about getting it right or wrong. It's about the experience. It's about the experience. Sometimes I'll do readings for someone and it's like prediction. And they sat there and they're like, oh, because it's like, wow. And then other readings, it'll be more healing, more reading the energies. So if you do readings for clients, it's different for each client. Some people will come in and it'll be like, God, the mum's here. And some people will be coming, oh my God, the child that they had that passed over is here. How do I break this? Everything's different. So if you read for people, understand that and understand all your readings will be different. And it's not always about making predictions, because timelines at the minute are just fluid and there's loads of timelines. And I think we can trip up by trying to just think about a reading as making a prediction. I need to predict, I need to predict, I need to predict. That's old school. Reading cards, reading tarot, reading oracle, there is so much more to them than predictions. Even the crystal ball, I can see it in my crystal ball. The most powerful thing you can see in a crystal ball or in a card is the energies that they need to understand. I remember going to a clairvoyant years ago, and she described Gary to a T. She described this work that I'm doing to a T now. But I was in a job that was in a toxic place and all kinds of stuff going on, and I was single and I was a rape victim, right? That's where I was, drinking heavily at the time. And I remember coming out thinking, what an amazing reading. But how am I going to get to that? How am I going to get to Mr. Right? How am I going to get to that job? Because at the minute I was a dental nurse, I was doing this and I was doing that, and this was happening. And she was talking about this work here, and it was like, hey, how do I get to it? And I left thinking, oh, right, well, yeah, I know what's coming, but I don't know how to, and actually what would have been more conducive in that reading would have been told, actually, love, you need to pull yourself together. You need to get healed, you need to get doing this. Your guides want you to do this. Your guides want you to walk down this path. Your guides are concerned about this. I didn't get any of it. It was just cross my palm in silver. And actually, sometimes that can be very disempowering with a reading. And actually, it can close your readings off, because it's almost like you're trying to test spirit. And if the client comes in like that, and I've had this before where they'll just sit there and they'll be zipped, you know, take the wedding rings off, that kind of thing. And it literally, they get nothing. Or it's just like, it's like walking through treacle. Because literally when you're actually doing that, if this happens to you with your clients as well, they're not actually testing you, they're actually testing spirit. And spirit don't like being tested. Spirit find it a great, and I've done that with my guides where I've tested them. They don't like it. So don't look at these as tools of prediction and I must be able to predict and see the future and be Nostradamus. It's not always about that. Sometimes you see more by looking at the energy. Energy is alchemy. Energy is everything. Energy is everything, past, present and future. And that can derail people so much on their tarot journey. What else should we say about tarot? Have fun with it, enjoy it. Don't do it whilst drunk. Don't do it whilst drunk. Don't do it whilst drunk. Don't do it whilst hungover. Don't do it whilst ill. If I become ill, my sessions get cancelled, end of. Always. Healings, mentoring, everything. If I'm ill, if I've got a cold or whatever, or if I've got a virus, cancelled. Don't do it under the influence of drugs, because you can make something so beautiful as the language of light open up to the language of darkness. And I've seen this happen where people do it drunk, or they do it hungover, or they do it in an angry mood, or they do it in a triggered mood, and it can open up to all kinds of things. So cleansing your space beforehand, using smudge, using sage, having nice crystals, not doing it from a point of fear, oh, they're all going to come in. They won't. You've got to have a relationship with your guides as well. And it's not about knowing all their names. I didn't know Metatron's name for quite some time. But it's about knowing them, seeing them as the beings of love and light that they are. You don't need to know their names, or you just need to know that you've got a team of light around you. Work with them. Ask them to help you, and they will. They're not always going to jump in. It's like a conversation. If we're in here, in a group of us in here, it's only going to be the rude ones that are going to be jumping in, isn't it? And talking over everybody, right? Guides will actually wait until you say, could you help me with this reading? What do you think? You can do it in your head. I do it with my head all the time. I'm talking to them all the time. Show me. What's the client not missing? What's the client needing to do? What's the client all the time? I'm not just going, it's just talking to them in your head. What's the best thing for the client? What's the best thing with the client? What can they do? Being specific with the guides as well. And knowing that you and the guides aren't separate. So many people think that the guides, me, you're all one. We're all one with our guides. It's not a case of the guides and me. You're all one. That's why when I say about my business, it's we. And people may think I employ people, but I don't. I go, it's we, because it's we that do it. We are starting the healing. We will be beginning the reading. We are going to be doing a video. We are going to be doing some stuff for the internet. We are doing this. We are busy. We are too busy to have all fancy lighting for the YouTube. We are too busy to have 2 cameras on cards and all. We are too busy for that because it's we as a team. Yes. Did you enjoy that? Let me know in the comments. Recommend decks in the comments as well. Recommend books, recommend techniques that you've got, because it's not always about me as well on this channel. There's other readers and healers that are about and watch, and we should all start being comfortable with sharing, because that's how the messages get out there. That is it for today. So the next video will be a channeling with Abraham Lincoln. I'm going to go into videos about channeling as well. I'm going to go into videos about all kinds of things, crystals, and pull it away from some of that stuff. Yeah, I feel when you'll actually see me different in the videos that I do. It just feels nice on this. I might do a video where I talk about all the different sprays I use for my own journey, and different crystals that I use, different journaling techniques. Let me know in the comments what you'd like to see from the channel as well, because this just isn't my channel, it's your channel as well. I don't want this to be a run-of-the-mill gossip channel, and that can actually happen without you realising it with the certain tarot subjects you want. I want this to be a channel that you can come to as a teaching method, or as a place of a safe space of learning, of investigation, of exploration. I love history, so we'll still be doing history. Like I said, I'm going to be doing Jayne Seymour in a couple of weeks. Yeah, interesting. There's some interesting things to come on this channel, and with Healing for Ascension, and with you guys as well. So thank you for your support. Thank you for your comments. Remember, for the question Q&A, ask me anything. What's your favourite takeaway? What's your favourite place in the world? Ask me about my awakening, because that was an interesting story. Ask me about anything you feel you'd like to know, or anything that you feel pulled to ask me. Because for although I'm not like one of these people that'll just blast everything out there, I will talk about certain aspects of my life in the view of having been there, done that, got the t-shirt, and now using it as a tool to help people. I talk about things in that response, in that respect, not to, oh me, or all this drama, or to attack. Everything that I've experienced in life has been alchemized to be turned around to help people. Okay, so questions for the Q&A. Give me hints for new future videos and future content you'd like to see, but then please be patient, because it'll come when it's meant to come. Yes, thanks for watching. Love to all. Like, comment and subscribe. Share this video if you feel as it'll be a good thing to share. I am going to start doing lives as well. Once I get to 10k, I'm going to start doing a live. And again, those lives will be teaching, there'll be chats, there'll be where you can chat to me, I can chat to you, we can have a laugh, we can have a belly roll laugh, we can have a bit of banter, we can pull some cards on different things, and just, yeah, plans for this platform. Let's not just have it as a mediocre, I don't want that anymore. I want something better. I want something better for me and better for you guys. That's it. Thanks a lot. See you later. Bye.